Welcome to MadameZ and Friendz podcast. Today I have a guest, a longtime friend of mine from well over 40 years, Mr. Alan Marks.
Hello, good afternoon, Zane. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And I'm proud to sit next to the reigning teacher of the year in Henry County.
Just for one school, just for one school. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you to my sponsor, Purple Lava. Thank you so much for the energy drinks and the coffee. I appreciate it, and thank you. So I brought Alan today. I wanted him to talk about his expertise, but let's get a little bit of background as to where, who, what, where, when, why. Where are you from originally, and what made you get into what you do?
All right. I am currently, I'm an attorney. I'm a mediator in the world of Georgia workers' compensation. And before I became an attorney and a mediator, I was a New York City firefighter. I got injured on the job many decades ago. I think it was 1990. And the treatment I received as an injured worker was my motivation to go to law school so that I could help folks that suffered the same injuries I had avoid the pitfalls that I ran into in my workers' comp case. And I've been blessed enough to do that for about 27 years now.
Wow, that's huge. That was one heck of an undertaking that required discipline, education. Let's talk about that journey when you finally made that decision, okay, I'm going to go to school. I'm done with this. What was the impetus and what were the steps you needed to take to get to where you are right now?
Yeah, it was frightening because you have to take I had my degree already and my bachelor's degree, and I hadn't really done much significant studying as a firefighter, right? So I slowly started reading and preparing for the law school admission test. Took about a year of just sitting in the library, training myself to sit in the library again for hours and hours and hours. And took the LSAT, did good enough to get into law school. I was happy. Went to St. John's University School of Law up in New York and began my career.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's huge. To all of a sudden, after years and years and years of not going to school, and then all of a sudden, plop yourself into school. What was that journey like?
It was hard. And it was a sacrifice by the whole family. My kids, my wife, we all sacrificed because I was working still as a firefighter in the Department of
FDNY, yeah.
I was working at fire department's headquarters as a light duty firefighter and going to school at night. So I would leave, I would get there at 8 o'clock in the morning, work all day, go to St. John's, eat something in the cafeteria, school from 7 to 10, study till midnight, go home, maybe read till 1, and get up at 5 and do it all over again.
Oof.
And that was really, really difficult.
How many years?
4 years.
Wow.
4 years.
Oof. Okay, so now, 4 years later, you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Then what?
Well, I got an opportunity to work in a law firm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, of all places. And my wife and I moved out to Pittsburgh, and I worked there. Pittsburgh wasn't for us, so we found our way. My wife is from Georgia, so we came to Atlanta, and we've been in Atlanta now for almost 25 years.
Wow, okay. So networking, getting out there, putting yourself out there, what was that like having to interview, find a firm that was willing to take you on, who knew green to the field?
Yeah, that was a challenge. I mentioned when we were getting together, networking is the key, and relationship building. And I just started. I worked. I got a job as for an insurance company here in Atlanta, and I literally met the partner in a firm that's in the same building in the restroom. So we're in the restroom washing my hands, and I strike up a conversation with the guy, and we see each other again a couple of days later, strike a conversation, and we realized we're both lawyers. He needed a lawyer, and we struck up a conversation. I interviewed, and that was it. And then I started my career here in Atlanta at CNA Insurance Company.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing how things happen. God puts you in places sometimes where you need to be.
Yeah, it sounds like you in the right place, the bathroom, the
Yeah,
right time.
who knew?
With the right people, right?
That's crazy.
My goodness. So now, since you worked with them, you've worked with some other firms, talk about that journey into where you are now as a mediator.
Yeah, as a mediator, you have to be able to see each case that comes before you from both sides and see the relative strengths and weaknesses from both sides, and then be able to communicate with the injured workers who typically are less educated and maybe get them to move off of their position. So I spent about 5 years as a defense attorney, both at CNA and at Travelers. And then I worked at a claimants firm here in Atlanta for about 10 years. And I learned to see both as a defending the insurance companies and the employers, and then representing the injured workers. I got to see how the system worked from both sides. And then I left there and I went and worked for the State Board of Workers' Compensation, which runs everything. So I got to see the case, a typical workers' comp case, from the defense side, from the claimant side, and from the inside. And I know all the players. And here I am. Then I was able to open my own firm. I think it's 10 years ago now. This March will be 10 years. And things are good. God is good. It's been a blessing.
Man, you wouldn't believe that we met over 40-something years ago, and to see you in this place at this stage in our lives,
it's
it is
amazing.
huge.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm like really, really proud of you, and I know that your kids and your wife are as well. I'm gonna stop here for a hot 5 seconds. We're gonna do a little trivia game. You down for it?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So. Da-da-da-da. Don't worry about it if you get it wrong. All right, so. Which dog breed was traditionally kept by monks in the Swiss Alps to find lost travelers?
Saint Bernard.
Yes. Now. Yes. Okay. Second one, and then I'm third, and then that'll be it. Which planet shares its name with a chemical element?
Uranus? I don't know. I have no idea. It's not Mars, not Venus. Neptune?
Mercury.
Mercury, yes.
That's okay. It's okay.
Obviously. Good Lord.
Okay. Oh. And last, what was London Airport renamed to in 1966?
Heathrow?
Bingo. Ta-da! Ding, 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 ding.
All right,
Yes,
all right.
got it.
I want to redo on that Mercury. That is so obvious. That's the easy one.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm competitive. I'm an attorney.
I know. I wanted to ask a question. You know, I've always heard this term, shark. Do you have any idea where that came from?
I don't know where that came from.
It's synonymous
with lawyers.
Why?
Right.
What is that
we're
all
sharp.
about?
Because lawyers are perceived, because we get into the minutia of a case, and most people don't go there, and it cuts people at the knees sometimes. They think we're being sharks because we're, cutting people at the knees, and we're just doing our job. I actually did not enjoy that part of practicing law. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that, which is why I gravitated toward mediating, because I'm more of a conciliator. I want people to kind of, everybody. I have a funny phrase, and it's just a little silly. When I'm in a mediation, if everybody walks away from the mediation just a little bit annoyed at me, I did my job. A little bit annoyed. And so what I'm saying is, let's say somebody wanted $100,000 in their case, but the case isn't worth $100,000. and the employer wanted to settle for $75,000. Right? They came with $75,000 to settle the case because that's what they see the case as being worth. If I can get everybody to move to the midpoint of 87.5, the employer paid a little bit more than they wanted, and the injured worker took a little less than they wanted, they kind of walked away a little, and then I did my job. Because that's how a mediation is. If nobody walks away happy, really, they walk away,
Wow.
So I live my life people being annoyed with me. But that's okay, because it's better sometimes for an injured worker to walk away with a little less than go to court and get nothing.
Oof. Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah, and that happens all the time.
Wow. Oof, that would hurt. Georgia itself. Do you see yourself outside of once you decide to stop mediating? What do you see yourself doing after that? Because you're still pretty sharp. Your brain is 100%. It's always going.
Yeah,
You're always reading. You're always learning. What's the next step?
Yeah, I want to. I think I want to work hard full time for the 2.5 years, but then I feel like I don't want to retire from something. I want to retire to something. Right? Because for my brain to sit home and do nothing is not going to work. So I think it's not going to work. So I want to retire to doing the same thing I'm doing, just less of it. So I want to mediate. Maybe I'll go give presentations and things to younger lawyers and things like that for a couple of years.
Cough, cough, hint, hint. What about teaching college level? Teaching law?
It seems like a lot of work.
Come on, I'm an educator. I'm always going to try to get people into the field.
I thought of that too, being an adjunct professor. Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, I mean,
that could be fun. 1-2
day
classes a week.
Yeah.
At night, that could be fun.
Shaping, minding.
Yeah, I could do that.
Minds, yeah.
On a college level, though.
Yeah, no, I don't see you doing it in high school level. It's college, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So let's see. All of these paths. Mentoring outside of your agency or your company. Do you do any mentoring right now?
I do not now. But service to others is a passion, almost to a fault. Like running and burning buildings. And then and I was afraid of heights, right? So I became a lawyer. At one point I was afraid of public speaking. So I become an attorney. I'm always challenging myself to do more. I forgot the question. What was the question?
It's okay. So mentoring.
Yes. So what I did was, when we moved to Pittsburgh, a good friend of mine and we started a track team. And we were called Steel City Express, Steel City, Pittsburgh. And we took kids in and we mentored them not only in track and field, but we made sure they had to have the proper grades and listen to their parents. And we've got several children, college scholarships over the years. And although I left Pittsburgh 20 years ago, that track team just folded about a year and a half ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just still going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, and so I haven't done anything here in Atlanta, but I'm thinking about when I begin to slow down, maybe do mediations in the juvenile court system, volunteer there.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be very challenging, but I think that it is definitely needed. In terms of once you're out, you're done. But what about some other interests? Fun. Something that's fun for you. Because I remember you were really on point with, was it karate, judo?
Martial arts, yeah.
Martial arts.
Yeah, health and wellness is a passion of mine. It has been since I was 13 years old. And martial arts, track and field, as I mentioned before, is a tremendous passion of mine. I still fly up to University of Pennsylvania every April to watch the Penn Relays. And it's just, I love it. I can't do those things anymore, but I'm still into health and wellness. So I bike ride, I road bike, I hike as often as I can. A little too cold now here in Atlanta. But as soon as we get some warm days, I'm hiking and fitness. I'm always in the gym, swimming. It's funny, I went to Barbados like a year and a half ago and got in the water and had some trouble. And I came back and I took swimming classes, and now I'm swimming laps in the pool. So just health and wellness is kind of my thing.
Okay. I'm going to stop there for a second, and we're going to do a couple more questions, you know, a little funny trivia. You game?
More trivia?
Yeah, three more.
Okay.
Come on, you got this.
I got it. It's okay.
So, I know you know this. What is the only bird that can fly backwards?
Backwards. I'll say a hawk. We're in Atlanta. I have no idea.
No, hummingbird.
That's obvious. Another obvious one. I have a hummingbird feeder in my yard. And they're darting around.
And they're so beautiful. Gosh. I know you know this one. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel?
Was it Da Vinci? Leonardo da Vinci?
No.
Who was it?
The other one.
Who is it? Do you know who it is?
No, you.
I don't know.
Michelangelo. That's okay. One more. I don't know. What is the main profession of Nintendo character Luigi?
Pizza dough? I don't know. I've never played that game a day in my life.
That's why I said maybe not. Plumber.
He's a plumber.
Plumber, yeah. So with our parting question, what is one thing you think people should know in terms of what you do for a living?
Well, if someone gets hurt, whether you're at work or out in the real world, do not handle that case on your own. Find an attorney. And how do you find an attorney, right? That's difficult. You got the TV, you got everybody. Have someone that's going to explain the law to you and answer your questions. It's critical. It is critical. Because if you don't, and you try to do it on your own, you may be taken advantage of. And I'm not saying you will get taken advantage of, but the person that you're negotiating against knows the law, and they negotiate for a living. And most of us don't negotiate for a living.
No, I most certainly do not. Not at all. So
No.
I would take. And one more thing. In terms of young individuals who wanted to come into this field, what would you recommend?
I think the thing that got me through law school and my early years of practice was discipline. If you're going to enter into any kind of advanced field of study, you have to have discipline, because motivation wanes. Motivation dies quickly sometimes. But if you got to be in class at 6 o'clock, you got to be in class at 6 o'clock, even if you don't want to. Even if you're dragging in, you got to get in there. So discipline. There's Mike Tomlin, he's coach of the Steelers. He has a favorite quote of mine, and somebody was asking him about success. How do you get there? What's the secret to success? And he said the secret is there is no secret. You have to work.
Yeah, you most certainly do.
You have to work.
You do.
And I love that quote because it's true. You have to put in the work.
Indeed.
So that's me. That's me.
Are there any other imparting bits of knowledge that you'd like to pass along?
You know, if I'm speaking with the young folk, just study and don't take the easy route. Study hard, work hard, and focus. And that's really it.
So one of the things that I'm experiencing in the classroom are students who don't particularly care to do the reading, to do the work. They would prefer to use AI. They would prefer to copy from their next door neighbor just to get it over and done with. Tell me what your thoughts are and how that could be a negative.
Their lawyers do that. A lawyer was tasked with writing a brief. What the lawyer did was just put it in AI, put the question in AI, got it, looked good, it was nice, handed it to the partner, they went to the judge. And AI cited cases, right? They were all wrong. They were all make-believe. They weren't on point, as we say in the law. They were completely wrong.
That's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing for the partner. Of course, the associate was fired. Yeah. And when I see documents that have come across my desk written by AI, I could tell. It's too generic. You could just tell. So, and I think using AI is an amazing tool. Use it as a tool to maybe help establish the outline for you, and then go in and do your work, do your research, put your soul into the writing, because an educated person can tell. If I see it, I see it. It's immediate, and it's kind of almost silly.
One of the things, and I'll tell students this or anyone, one of the things that we as educators, when we're looking at your papers, we're looking at your work, don't forget that we already have established a writing sample from you at the very beginning of the school year. So we know what your handwriting looks like. We know how your tone, how you come across on paper. So when you submit something to AI and expect me to grade it and give you an ultimate grade, no, that's called cheating. Better yet, the P word, plagiarism. That's a big no-no. And as you heard Mr. Marks just say, you can't do that, not even in a law firm or any other position. It is a huge no-no. It is something that you really need to cultivate. Your reading, your writing, and your comprehension. Those are the three biggies.
As you move up in your education, if you plagiarize, you get immediately expelled from the school. And unfortunately, students are getting booted from school for using AI. Yeah, you got to put in the work.
Most certainly do. Well, thank you. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much. And I know you had other things to do, and I really appreciate you coming out, spending this time with me. And really, for me, this is one way of giving back to the community, so they get to hear it from your mouth to their ears. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to hang out with you.
Ah, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Purple Lava, thank you so much for sponsoring me. I do greatly appreciate it. And for those of you who are interested, do follow me on YouTube. Do purchase Purple Lava energy drinks. They have sugar-free and they are yum. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. MadameZ, MadameZ and Friends podcast. Thank you.